I thought joining the cryogenics program would be an easy way to get away from our problems. But there were glitches. So many glitches. And they don't tell you about the nightmares. I really don't know what's real anymore, or if I'm even alive anymore. All I know is I want to wake up. All of the video elements in what you just saw were produced with Minimax's Hailuo video. Some people just call it Minimax, some people call it Hailuo. I call it Minimax. It's way more fun to say Minimax. Specifically, I was using their newer image-to-video feature, which I hope you can see has a ton of potential. Now, if you've played with Minimax or Hailuo in the past, and you've played with their text-to-video feature, you know already that it is among one of the leaders. Just real quick, we'll scroll through some of the ones I've done with just text-to-image. It just was pure text prompt, a man in a coffee shop on a rainy day, with a gorilla in the background. Creating footage that looks like stock footage of somebody sitting there talking in a studio on an interview, but completely generated by text. Obviously, you can create all sorts of styles and moods and create lighting with your prompt alone without the need for any image guidance whatsoever. You truly can create your own HD, high-quality stock footage exactly the way you want it using Minimax. And the fact that it includes a lot of celebrity faces makes it a lot of fun for people on social media, because you just can't get enough of Tom Cruise holding a picket sign. And it's excellent at following the prompt specifically. Here I said a giraffe standing by a river bends its neck down, puts its head into the water, and pulls out a wiggly sloth in its mouth, and that is exactly what I'm getting. No compromises. But today I want to talk about the image-to-video feature because it adds a whole new element of control over what you're doing and makes this tool perfect for something like Previs for the film industry. The opening of this video was something of a trailer for an imaginary film called Sleeper. Now, to create what I had created in the past would have taken time and money and resources that it just isn't practical to do. And being able to add elements to an existing image just with text, which is what I'm going to show you a few examples of here, makes it amazing for filmmaking. In this case, this original image had no elephants in it whatsoever. But if I type "the woman's posing in a flirty way, smiling coyly at the camera while a herd of elephants runs through the town," the elephants show up. Same here. This is the original image. That guy, there's no elephants there. However, I said, no, there's a herd of elephants running through the town. And we've got elephants back there, and they look fantastic. Here's an original image of a spider in a canyon, and just saying giant spider crawls through the canyon, I get this nice creepy thing. That second little spider there, that's a little glitchy. But here I took a birthday card of squirrels and just said various squirrels doing odd dances in multiple squares, and it gave me this. I love how the lines stay intact. It really knew what I was asking for. Here's another example of that. This is a still image I created of this alien dude having cappuccino in various places. And it did the same thing here. It respected all the frames and let everything happen independently. Several views of an alien xenomorph enjoying coffee outdoors. Here's another example. Guy sitting on a bench playing the ukulele. I didn't even add a prompt this time. I just let the AI come up with what it wanted it to do, and it seems okay. He's playing the ukulele, and the kids are pointing and having a good old time. Here's an image of an old woman with cookies. I give it the prompt, "old lady shoving cookies into her mouth very quickly, throwing crumbs everywhere." But now, with that very same image, I give it the prompt, "old woman calmly talking to a camera as a cat jumps onto the countertop in the background." Now, instead of cramming cookies in her mouth, she's talking calmly, and a cat walks across the counter, just like we said, and the cat was not part of that original image. Here, I had a picture of a girl playing the ukulele in the park, and added that she was swaying back and forth surrounded by multicolored baby dragons flying around her, and they appeared just great. Still image of a Pixar-looking guy standing in the street, but I told it the man is doing a card trick as a baby koala bear scampers by, and look at that. He's doing a card trick. The bear scampers by. It goes without saying that the rest of these images that I've showed you, the consistency stays the same. There's not a lot of weird warping. This is really next level stuff. Still image of a familiar looking man playing an accordion in a bus. I didn't give it any instruction and it knew exactly what to do. But then I added the instructions that the passengers hold up lit cigarette lighters swaying back and forth. And what's funny is he just automatically gets a kick out of that. Here's another promotional image we did for a friend of ours holding a book with some mystical stuff coming out of it. And I say, woman reads from magical book emitting an ethereal mist with tiny creatures flying in it. And now we've got the little winged creatures here right out of Disney, folks. Another example, just a woman sitting in the street. It's clearly raining, but there's no other elements that would suggest that a unicorn is about to walk in, except that I just tell it to, while a unicorn wanders around in the background. Again, the cars keep moving, the rain keeps falling, everything looks fantastic. And by the way, a lot of people are taking these source videos and running them through upscalers for various kinds to give them even more detail. We won't be doing that in this particular video, but it is something I'll be doing in future projects. One of the coolest use cases for this is just to take old photographs from parties. Now, this was generated with Flux. These people never met each other, they don't exist, but it looks real enough. But awkward mingling at a party is the prompt, and that's what you get. This guy in particular looks awkward. It's also kind of fun to take ad designs like this and just run them through. So this was like a web page prototype, and I didn't give it any instruction whatsoever, and it just brought the spiders to life, and the kids were having a good old time. But it left the text alone, and in fact, the boy and the elements move in front of the text as if they were chroma keyed on there. So let's talk about this sleeper project a little bit. I have been producing 5-second, 8-second, 10-second demos of things, just silly little things to demonstrate technology for, I don't know, a year. And I've always said I want to do something to at least tell some sort of a story. And I saw an opportunity with this to come up with a little story that I could do sort of a movie trailer for. And I know I'm not the only one doing this. You see them everywhere on the AI sites. But this was my first official movie trailer production, and to create the basic images, I was using Comfy UI and using the Flux model, and I had built a Laura of myself so that I could put myself in these images. First, I just came up with a vague concept of some guy being tortured through his life in some sort of cryogenic freezing cycle where he gets whisked away into different dimensions and time, and I had no idea if I was going to be able to tie it all together. I just started generating all of these still images. So I was just giving it various text prompts of this guy laying in cryogenic chambers in various stages of discomfort, and trying different filters and tones and different variations of weirdness. Then I got the idea to add some sort of tentacled creature in there, or something that kept showing up in some of the dimensions that he would travel, if we even talked about the dimensions. Not all of these got into final production, but you see where I was going with it. Some sort of weird dimensional thing was happening. There were nightmares involved. This was all just my vague idea as I was coming up with all of these images. And again, I really wasn't even sure how I was going to be able to put them together, or if I was going to be able to. But all I did was started dragging these things in here one by one, giving them text prompts when appropriate. Now, if you have not yet signed up with Minimax, it's super easy to do now. And when you do, as I record this, they're offering 3 days of unlimited generations as part of a 3-day free trial. And that's when I jumped in here and did all of those videos. I had 3 days to sit there and just crank those out. And as I record this, and I cannot guarantee it's going to be there when you get there, but as I record this, you have the opportunity to do this now. So if you've got an idea, now's a great time to get in there. You just sign in, it'll say hello, or whatever that says. Continue with Google. Once you've got the account, all you have to do to make this work is click the little image there and either choose from an image that you've already uploaded, or just click to upload an image. Let's choose one I didn't actually use. I don't think I used this one. So it's me sitting in this chamber. And in this case, I will say, man screams as chamber fills with freezing mist, sending him into sleep. Screams and panics, just to see. I'm obviously creating a mood here. For all of these, I left the prompt enhancement on because my prompts were pretty simple and I was happy for them to elaborate. So I'm just going to leave that on now. Click go, where it tells you that, hey man, when you do pay for these, they'll be 30 a shot. Here's one I didn't use. I was thinking of having him be in normal situations every now and again. Here's one I didn't use, but I wanted him to be pounding on the table. It didn't quite get down there and I didn't have time to redo it. More at the controls. I will tell you that the render times for these are all over the place. Sometimes you're right there and you go right into the queue, and other times it'll tell you, like here, you got 2,392 people in front of you. As I mouse over them, you can see the prompts I used, like man slowly looking around as the chamber fills with a white freezing mist. I didn't use that clip either. Lots of white freezing mist. Man wrapped from head to toe is panicking and writhing around, desperately trying to tear off his facial covering. We have man is lying down, looking around, waiting. Man shoving food down his mouth like an animal. I didn't use that one either. Here, zombie twitching and spasming on the floor, handheld camera movement. The handheld camera movement didn't get there that time. And then I did various versions of this just to see which one gave me the results I wanted. Freezing mist was obviously a theme throughout this thing, and deciding which ones to put the mist in and when to put it in. But when you've got unlimited generations, it's fun to just go for it. You can run 3 generations at a time. So what I would do is I'd start 3 generations, then go back, create more images, and come back and just plop them in as I could. This was a non-stop project where I just kept going. Like, this one didn't work out because, well, it just didn't work out. What I ended up with was 38 clips that I just brought into my editor here, and then it was up to me to figure out how I was going to put these in order to make any sense. What's the voiceover I'm going to do? What story am I actually trying to tell here? And you saw the final result, and this is what it looked like. So some effort went into this, but I will tell you that the total time on this project was me sitting down, doing a few hours of the generation, and then literally this morning got up, took a couple of hours to take those 38 clips and produce that thing, including the voiceover, and deciding what am I even going to do with it. So this is a beyond cool way to visualize your story and show it to somebody else with full cinematics, full special effects. Your imagination is truly the only limit here. You can put whoever you want to in your film to say, this is what I'm talking about, instead of doing pages and pages of little sketches and so on that could take you weeks to do. This was done in a weekend. I truly hope this has inspired you to go over here and give this a try. There are a lot of AI generators out there. I really love a couple of them, and this is one that I really, really love. And it's because of the undeniable quality of the final result. And if you've seen all those Gordon Ramsay videos out there, well, this is where they're doing it. If this is the type of stuff you like to hear and learn about, well, why not subscribe to this channel? Because it's the kind of stuff we cover all the time.
If you subscribe now, I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you do not, I will look for you. I will find you, and I